Phyllis Francis, the 24-year-old.
Yeah, we saw her teammate earlier today, Courtney Okolu. Both of them won gold in Rio this year on the 4x4. She set her new PB of 36:49 in this event earlier today. She's been running shorter distances this year, which I think she needs to work on is her speed. And I feel like she's going to run really well here tonight in the 300.
Just on her inside, again with the stagger, she'll stay in lane 5 as Joanna Atkins.
She ran 36:52 in her heat. She has good indoor history, second at the U.S. Indoor Championships in both 2013 and 2014, but that was at 400 meters.
23-year-old Robin Reynolds will be in lane 4.
Best known as a quarter miler, she set her personal best last month at this event of 37:22. But get this, in 2012, she won the U.S. Juniors at the long jump.
And in lane 3, rounding out the field, will be Jessica Beer.
And I want to see how Jessica is going to rebound from a tough year last year, running her slowest time since 2006. She's going to have a tough task also being on the inside lane here.
Jessica Beard, an Aggie.
She was the NCAA champion back in 2011 for A&M. This is Joanna Atkins. And I have a little smile on my face because I'm thinking, has the youngster Candace Hill figured this out better than the pros? Because they ran about 2.5 hours ago. That race still has to be in their legs. If they can't match what they did in the semifinals, Candace Hill will have won this more with her head than with her legs.
It will be impressive as they are getting into their blocks. Once again, they will stay in their lanes the entire time. It's a lap and a half around this 200-meter track. And a false start.
Not often you see a 300-meter false start. Anything above 200 meters, guys, you have no business false starting. It's so far to go that you're not going to really gain a huge advantage by guessing the gun. The question is somebody going to be disqualified from this?
And we're hearing from the officials, no false start. Is there games being played? I noticed in that situation, Phyllis Francis in lane 6 took a lot longer
Really
to get ready and then slow to come up. And is that something that you're playing games?
She's a quarter miler, Sonia. The quarter milers think they own the track, so they can come up at any time. So what the official has done is he has warned Phyllis Francis, when you hear the set command, Phyllis, please come up quickly.
Yeah, you have to. I used to hate when athletes did that because then you're sitting there waiting and you're more likely to false start and get anxious. So once you hear that set, you need to get up and get prepared to run. So I'm happy they warned her. I'm happy she's still in this race. This is quite a great field. We would have lost a lot if Phyllis Francis was disqualified. So I'm happy that she's still going to be competing in this event.
And again, Phyllis Francis had the fastest time in the qualifying rounds earlier. It was a personal best of 36:49. And Candace Hill has set the mark at 36:56 in the B final of the 300 meters. We'll see if any of these athletes can top her in the A final.
Phyllis Francis made the U.S. Olympic team individually in the 400, made it all the way to the final, and was 5th. The U.S. put 3 young ladies into that Olympic 400-meter final last year.
And a clean start this time. Again, Phyllis Francis on the outside, Joanna Atkins in lane 5, trying to close the gap early.
Now, you'd think that Joanna Atkins has the better sprint speed, and she does, but Phyllis Francis is an amazing finisher, as I'm sure Sonia can attest. So right now, it's Atkins, but don't count out Phyllis Francis, despite the fact that she's a little behind right here.
We'll see how strong she is on the high side.
Absolutely, and Joanna Atkins really looking good. If she can hold this, it's going to be a tough task for Phyllis Francis to run her down.
Here she comes, though. Phyllis Francis on the outside. It's a photo finish, and she falls down.
Phyllis Francis's finish is always to be respected. And it is Phyllis Francis.
Wow.
By 0.03 of a second. Look at the two. Francis and Atkins hit the line. Better lean by Francis. One of our better finishes today. And I talked about how well she finishes. Sonia, you know this. Anybody who runs the quarter knows Phyllis Francis is one of the best finishers in the business.
But she saves it for so late. I mean, she could have probably made a move a little bit sooner. You can see her face was a little bit more relaxed than Joanna Atkins, but what a fantastic finish. And she definitely wins today.
And of course, the bigger story is that she wins the overall thing, the overall 400, the overall 300, and puts Candace Hill back down into third, in fact.
You see the results. Let's hear from the winner.
Well, I think what we all want to know is, as Joanna Atkins passed early, what were you thinking? How did you remain patient?
Just hold on and don't panic. And when it comes to the straightaway, just go for it.
Yeah, well, what allowed you to do that? Is that experience? Is that strength? How do you explain it?
I think all the above.
Right. And the year you had last year to now come out here, win this indoor championship, your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, I was a little nervous coming in, but I'm pretty happy with the results now.
You should be happy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rick.
Take another look at the photo finish here. Out leaning is going to be Phyllis Francis. There's the tape. Take a look up at the top of the screen.
And of course, it's the torso that counts.
You know, we didn't notice that there was also a lean for third and fourth.
Sure.
They got the identical times for third and fourth, so there were two races.
But what a race. The second and third fastest American times ever for Francis and Atkins.
And they are now 6th on the all-time list in the world. Wow, for that, with Francis with that time of 36:15. All smiles, national champion Phyllis Francis in the 300 meters. A lot more coming up.